bold claim, right? Best all-around sling. So of course, we've got to define what best even means in the context of a sling bag, so let's dive right in. The first consideration is capacity, since no matter how good all the other specs and features are, if it won't store what you need, there's no point. The Alpaca Flow Satchel comes in 2 sizes, and the one I think takes the title of Best All-Arounder is the larger 4-liter model, double the capacity of their small 2-liter one. And why I think this Flow Satchel is so great when it comes to capacity is it's deceptively storage capable compared to its visual appearance. I'd argue that most slings fit into the 2 to 3-liter camp, and having that extra liter or 2 on this 4-liter bag is a big difference maker, whether it's being able to store more than the average sling or storing just as much, but retaining plenty of breathing space to easily find and get things in and out. I'm going to show a sample loadout in a few minutes so you can really get an idea of what fits inside, but for now, let's move on to the second category that matters when evaluating a sling: organization options. The Flow Satchel has 3 zipper compartments. On the front is a rapid access zipper pocket, what I'd imagine most folks would store their phone, keys, and potentially earbuds. Included inside is this key lanyard with a strong magnetic quick release, super satisfying, secure, and easy to detach and reattach keys. Next up is the main compartment where the majority of its 4-liter capacity lies. The more slings I test out and the more real people I talk to about their real-life use habits, the more I realize that going overkill on interior organization typically does more harm than good. What I mean is, a ton of small subcompartments, pockets, zippered sleeves, and all that stuff sounds great in theory, but the truth is, for most people in real life use, we aren't going to put everything back into its subcompartment when we're out and about living our lives. In practice, we're just going to chuck stuff in and rifle through when we need something. This bag strikes a great balance: 4 near full-depth fast access perimeter sleeves around the outer edge of the main central compartment, while maintaining a very nice large cavernous middle, which means even bulky items like a complete camera and lens can fit inside with ease. Heading to the rear is my own personal must-have for any sling I consider, which is a 3rd rear zippered pocket that's recessed and out of view, right up against the body for a tiny bit of added security. This is where we can put any valuables, especially when traveling. A set-it-and-forget-it place to store my passport and extra cash. In other words, a dedicated home for the most important things so I always know exactly where they are. However, beyond the 3 main zippered compartments, there's even more organization. First, on the front is this zip-to-expand gusseted water bottle pocket. Handy for both fast access to hydration and zero fear of leaking inside any of the other compartments, you know, where your tech and other water damage prone items might be. You can see that there's also this cinching bungee cord, which means even if you have a tall, slim bottle, you can cinch it down to really ensure that even if you've got to say, I don't know, run to catch a bus, your bottle's not going anywhere. This pocket, like the entire sling, is deceptively storage capable. I mean, even this gigantic footprint blender bottle seats comfortably inside. And again, if you don't have a drink or compact umbrella, that zippered gusset flattens that bottle pocket down to maintain a clean, sleek appearance. Lastly, in organization, we've got exterior anchor points in the form of these strips of webbing on either side. 5 loops on the tall side over here, and 3 on the short side. This means that pairing with espioners, things like a sweaty hat can clip in and out with ease when you're not wearing it, as can a shopping bag if you buy something, enabling you to free up both hands for more important stuff. Now, the next thing we care about is durability and security. This sling's exterior is made of a tremendously water-resistant ripstop nylon called Axoflux. 210 denier on the outside and 150D on the inside, which means strong durability protects from the elements as well as friction of your stuff moving around on the inside too. To amplify its durability, the front and main zippered compartments are outfitted with AquaGuard zippers to prevent water from entering, even in heavy rain, while that 3rd rear zippered compartment, although not AquaGuard, is sheltered and concealed by this flap. But what I appreciate most is the quality of manufacturing and especially the care to go way overboard at the stress points. I mean, just taking a look at the expandable water bottle pocket, we can see that flanking each side is a bar tack, tremendously extra reinforced stitching to completely eliminate any risk of tearing, especially with repeated storage of even the largest bottles. More bar tacks at each segment of the webbing on either side, so it doesn't matter how heavy what you hang off of them gets. And yet again, bar tacks on either side of this strap over here, which doubles as a hand carry handle and as a luggage pass-through. But the most impressive part to me is that not just the bottom, but also much of the sides are outfitted with a thin layer of padding, which means beyond the inherent durability of the bag itself, I have full confidence in storing expensive tech in here like a camera and lenses, and trust that they'll be protected. Of course, none of this matters until we talk about the last thing we care about when evaluating a bag, which is appearance and comfort. I mean, appearance is subjective. You either like the way it looks or you don't. That said, I do think it's valuable to see how a bag looks on a real human. And although you've already seen it on my frame, let's welcome Samara back to the channel and you can see at a few carry angles. This is how the Flow Satchel looks on someone standing at 5'1" and about 110 pounds. Now, when it comes to comfort, it's a little odd. I mean, I just finished off the durability section talking about how both the bottom and much of the sides are padded. And with the padding, padding, I'd be willing to go as far as to say that this thing is shockingly lightweight. At less than a pound with that thin padding and premium ripstop nylon, which is of course a plus because minimizing weight is always a benefit to comfort, especially if you'll be carrying it all day. But on the flip side is my only real complaint of the Flow satchel, and it's the strap that it comes with. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tremendously durable, basically seatbelt material, but as you can see, it really is thin, which means for some, a heavy loadout might cause discomfort if carried for long periods of time. That said, Alpaca does offer this optional, very padded strap for about $15 US, so at least the option is there, but I would have preferred if it just came with that padded strap. Either way, both the Sling and the optional strap are linked down in the description in case you want to research them more for yourself. But okay, we've gone through durability, security, organization, capacity, comfort, and appearance, which when combined together all lead me to believe that this is by far the best all-around sling for most people. But again, none of that really matters to you unless you have confidence it'll support everything you intend on carrying. So let's do a sample loadout. Me personally, my most used drink container is a blender bottle, so let's get that into the dedicated pocket. Get my phone and AirPods into that front compartment, and then get my keys onto the magnetically anchored lanyard, and we can zip up that front pocket. Onto the central compartment, I'll use one of those perimeter sleeves for my power bank, the Nightcore MB10K I've been using for the past few years, along with a compact charging cable, and in another sleeve, I'll toss in a pack of tissues because allergy season. For the other remaining sleeves, we'll toss the bulky Nightcore EDC37 flashlight in one, and the Leatherman Arc multi-tool in another, and as you can see, there's still a ton of space. So for that cavernous central compartment, as a notebook weirdo, I'll get my regular size Traveler's Company notebook and 2 Lamy Safari pens there. Then, toss in a fully loaded everyday carry pouch, and as you can see, there's still more space. Not to mention, I think what's in here already is more than most people would typically carry day to day. Zipping up the main compartment, then turning to the back to simulate even more storage needs, I'm gonna pretend I'm traveling, so for that recessed, slightly hidden zippered pocket right up against my body, I'll toss in my passport wallet with the added thickness of a pen, and as you can see, that rear pocket and therefore this entire bag zips up nicely, while retaining its sleek, clean, minimalist aesthetic. And hey, to really complete this loadout, why not? I'll get an S-beener on each side, and on the tall side, I'll affix my collapsible shopping bag in case I buy some stuff while I'm out and about. And on the other side, the S-beener will stay empty until I want to remove my hat and let it hang for quick access later. And at about $100 US or about $120 with the optional padded strap. When factoring the sheer quality, materials, and overkill durable manufacturing, if it's a frequent use bag, the cost per use over the course of a year is peanuts. But despite me seeing the bag's praises and believing that it's the best all-around sling for most people, I will not be using it often because what I've already been using for the past 2 years is fantastic for my unique selfish needs, which is perhaps the most important point. I mean, if you've been with me for a bit, you already know that I always discourage knee-jerk purchases. And the whole point of all of my bag-related videos is to have visual, real-life loadouts, so you can envision how suitable a particular bag would be to support your unique needs. Not mine, yours. In other words, if you, like me, already have bags that work well for you, we've already won the game. For me, on casual outings, the TomTalk Aviator T33 is what I've been using. Super compact, but also has my own requirement of having that third recessed pocket in the back. On days where I need to pack my computer, the Bravo Sling Max has and continues to be my go-to. And to see exactly why it's the most versatile bag I've found, you will definitely want to watch this video right up here. If you're feeling lucky though, this video down here is the one for you. I'll leave them both on screen for a few seconds so you can choose which one to watch next, but while you're deciding, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you'll be notified the moment new videos just like this one drops.